Okay. Huh? Okay. So welcome everybody to this great event. I just started to record us for posterity because this experience, and it is so amazing. And I am so proud of all of you. And oh wow, we have our music chair saying you all look amazing. You do look all amazing. And I am just thrilled. I am so thrilled. And I have these. Oh, there she is. Okay, so our Professor Farron is here, and I just want to give it another minute because people are going to trickle in. And I want to extend a warm welcome from the music department to all of you in New York City and beyond for this amazing event. We're recording this. This is really quite something else. As people come in, I just want to express my gratitude. Hold on, I need to do this mute all thing, which I always hate doing because the last thing in choir that we like to do is silence anybody's voices. This is all about being heard and singing. I cannot thank you all so much for this unbelievable experience. I mean, this really is an unbelievable time that we're living in. And, you know, the premise of tonight's existence in this Zoom space is that we have never yet done the Bach Magnificat all the way through. We have done it in pieces, and we have done it in you know, picking it apart with the arias and all. Tonight, it all comes together, folks. It's coming together so well that I thought I had performance anxiety, like I was having my nerves for concert day. And I actually find that reassuring because it feels like normal. Like it feels like we're existing in a realm of normal when we have our rituals of coming together and sing. All of you look so, so, so beautiful. And before we begin today with our warm-up, we have 65 members here and counting. This is very, very exciting. People are going to arrive, and then I want to invite our chair of the music department to speak. She's doing amazing things for us and has given us incredible support. And we also have soloists coming in from around the country and New York City tonight. And I'm your host, Michael Sheetz, for this event, which is the Bach Magnificat on Zoom with the Hunter College Choirs. First, I would like to welcome my better half. I couldn't do this without her. My wife, Mrs. Sheetz, who's right here to provide on-hand technical and emotional support and page turning, and she's amazing. Okay, so that's Mrs. Sheetz, the wind beneath my wings. Okay, and I couldn't have done this without her and her.
I thought you were gonna say Tyler is your better half.
No, I wasn't gonna say Tyler's my musical better half, but you're my better half. You know, we are living in this strange time, and I have been so inspired by all of you. All of you are amazing, special voices and people. I am extraordinarily moved to see all of you joining us. Your resilience, your grit, your creativity has been an inspiration to me to create this event, which I've never, ever been a part of before or even ever dreamt of doing, you know, ever. But I think that we can all fairly say that we're doing something tonight that may never have ever been done before in human history, which is performing the Bach Magnificat on the Zoom online conferencing platform. So if nothing else, you are a part of history tonight, ladies and gentlemen. You are a part of history. And none of this would be possible without you, okay? So I want to point out a couple of things about etiquette tonight. It is essential across the board that we keep our microphones on mute, but that doesn't mean that your spirits are on mute. You should be singing out full voice, you know, with your heart and your soul, you know, being together in real time while we are experiencing this whole masterpiece together, this Bach Magnificat and the Hail Stork, I Will Lift Up Mine Eyes. We do have a chat box function here. I'm going to ask people to refrain from using it while we're singing or when any of the soloists are singing, but I'm going to leave a time later in the evening when we offer our some brief reflections, and as I acknowledge our graduating seniors and our graduate students as well, which is always a very special ritual for us. I would like to begin the evening by welcoming one of the most inspirational people that we have, and her name is Dr. Suzanne Farren. She is our fearless leader. She has been a rock for me, for all of us. This thing happened, and Professor Farren and I met, and we created a plan, and I felt her support every step of the way. And now I'd like to just invite her to speak to you all. This is our chair of the music department, Dr. Farren. Welcome.
Oh, wow. Thank you. I actually have you on phone and on my computer. So excuse me while I just not drive myself crazy. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, great. Wow, I wasn't expecting to deliver any kind of introduction, but I'm just like a fly on the wall to be part of this amazing musical community. But thank you for inviting me into the fold here. I'm just so moved. I mean, the highlight of this terrible, terrible situation that we're in has been conversations with Michael, really, because it has just been a chance for us to think about what matters, what music really does for a community, what we need from music, what musicianship is, like what our lives are as musicians, what are some of the secret things we do that we never get to really address with each other because we are just thinking about walking on stage. So it's sad, and I'll be in tears when we're finally back together in real life in a real concert hall and we're singing. It's just going to be overwhelming. But it's also overwhelming, the kind of spirit that I'm witnessing in our music department. It's extremely inspiring, you know, even in the hard moments. And I know every single one of you has had your ups and downs with this, and the brick on the chest, and then the exhilaration of remembering life and being reconnected, and also the miracles of learning new things, which I think about the fact that we will return to being in physical spaces together, but we won't go back to life as it was. We will be forever better and changed, and there will be traumas to work through, and there's too much suffering around us. But we will also be forever changed and transformed by this experience, I think, for the better. And I can't imagine a better piece than the Magnificat to remind us of that. So I'm really just so grateful. I'm grateful to have a partner like Michael and Tyler and the other members of the faculty that are so devoted to this mission, that no matter what virus descends upon us, music will keep playing. I really, really just want to say thank you so much.
Suzanne, that was gorgeous. Can we all give a hand for our wonderful chair, Professor Farren? Thank you so much. So just full disclosure, I might cry at any moment in this performance, okay? So that, you know, there may be interruptions, both technical and emotional on my end, okay? And now what I would like to do, ladies and gentlemen, and even if you are not a member of the Hunter College Choir enrolled, I do invite you to participate in our group warm-up. I want to do a warm-up, and then we'll introduce our soloists, and then we're going to do it, folks, okay? So everybody in your own space, I have to sit down because I have a keyboard here, but you're welcome to stand. I encourage you to stand as long as you can participate. Again, if there are any technical issues, just let me know in the chat box, but I want to begin with what I have said all semester is the cornerstone of life. That is breathing, okay? So whenever we get overwhelmed, we must breathe, okay? So everybody taking a deep breath with me. And exhale. Okay. Make sure that the breath is deep. One more time. And exhale. I feel better already. Take your right hand, place it on your diaphragm, and taking a deep breath with me from your diaphragm. And exhale. Good. Now, taking a deep breath, and now exhale on for as long as you can. Deep breath in. Normally, the last person to keep holding would win, but tonight, you're all winners, okay? You won, all of you won tonight, folks, okay? Let us do some shoulder rolls back. Shoulder rolls back, folks. Feel that blood flowing, that's right. And shoulder rolls forward. Good. And now do some neck rolls, right? So I don't want to get too physical. I put on my custom tux. I know some of you are all glammed out, which is great. So let's just keep the physical warm up to a minimum. Just shake out your hands a little bit, okay? Shake, 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 shake. And now let's do some eyebrow push-ups. Eyebrow push-ups, because you're going to need to look up at your conductor through this, okay? Even into the camera. That's an element of choral technique we can work to refine in this medium. You know, I've said all semester, if we're looking like this, I can just literally see the pitch sink, folks, okay? So rise up and sing into the camera. We actually do have guests today who will be watching. So, you know, perform as you would in assembly hall. So we have each other. And now, let's just pulsate quickly in a flutter. Let's go with me. Very good. Those are going to be for all of those runs, folks, all those fast notes, okay? And now for some pitch, okay? So here's my keyboard. Let me know if you're having trouble hearing it, but I think the dynamic should be good. Repeat after me on. And up. Good. And now on an E. E. Good. Yeah, use your air nice and easy. You can move around a little bit, okay? And now an ah. Good. And O on O. Very, very good. Now let's do na mi na mi na mi na mi na. Keeping the sound nice and tall. Na mi na mi na mi na mi na. And coming down. Na mi na mi na mi na mi na. Keep going. Na mi na mi na mi na mi na. Two more. Na mi na mi na mi na mi na. Good. Na mi na mi na mi na mi na. I can hear you basses. I can hear your low tones through the internet, and that was a very, very quite fine work, everybody. Now let's do some staccato singing on ya ha 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 ha. Sorry, and ya ha 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 ha. 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 Ya ha 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 ha. Keep it good. Ya ha 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 ha. Ya ha 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 ha. Ya ha 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 ha. Ya ha 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 ha. Ya ha 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 ha. Good. And then my favorite for the scales and arpeggios. Z, Z, Z. Z, Z, Z. and za, 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 za. Keep going if you can. Za, 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 za. Good. And now exhale and sigh from the top. Ooh. Okay, folks. Welcome. At this time, before we begin, I want to introduce our gifted soloists, and I want to begin at the quote-unquote top. And I want to begin. I have to find the screen. This is the biggest Zoom call I've ever had in my life. Okay, there are 109 people here, which is amazing. Okay, totally amazing, and it's a testament to your, commitment throughout the semester. So let's see. First, I want to find Tammy Petty and Sarah Griffiths. Tammy and
Oh, there they are.
oh, there they are. Yay. Okay, so find the one that says Sarah Griffiths on your screen. Tammy and Sarah, now full disclosure, Tammy and Sarah are married, and they're also like the coolest ever. So Tammy and Sarah, would you kindly introduce yourselves separately, and say what you love most about singing Bach?
Oh, come on. Are you kidding? I'm Sarah Griffiths, by the way, and of my 5 favorite choral works in the entire world, the top 3 are Bach. I love Bach. I love the movement of Bach. I love the creativity and the unexpected harmonic surprises of Bach, and it just all works like a perfect puzzle, like finding that puzzle piece that you didn't realize it could possibly go in that place. That's what I love about Bach.
Sarah, thank you so much. You look fabulous.
Thank you.
You look fabulous.
I'm a bit shorter. I'm gonna change the.
Guys, they built a studio in their apartment for this in Washington Heights. They sent me the photo today, so thank you so much.
Yeah,
Tammy.
behind the scenes is not as impressive as when you're on camera, right? We all know
Yeah.
that. So I guess I'm just excited to be here with you tonight. Thank you, Michael, for the invitation, and I can't wait to make music with you all. Why do I love Bach? Why don't I love Bach? I think when the question comes, which music would you like to have with you on a deserted island? And here we are in quarantine, social distancing. Bach, of course, all day, every day. I love it. The fugues, the counterpoint, the pathos, the heart-wrenching dissonance, and the simple, beautiful, peaceful music, like Sheep May Safely Graze. I love that. It's such a beautiful piece, and I could go on, but I think we need to move forward. Thank you. It's so nice to
Tammy,
meet you all.
thank you so much. Thank you, Tammy and Sarah. Next is our mezzo-soprano, Brianna Hunter, who there's no way we could not have a soloist here whose last name is Hunter, okay? So Brianna, I'm gonna unmute you here and look for the one that says Brianna Hunter. Okay, you look fabulous.
Hi, thank you. So do you.
Thank you.
Always. What am I saying? I'm just saying hello and why I love Bach.
Yeah.
I love Bach. I love listening to his instrumental music a lot. Like I listen to his violin music often when I'm trying to kind of like clear my head or get things done. But singing Bach is just like this really delicious retreat for me. I do a lot of opera and musical theater type work, and it's just like, not that this doesn't have engaging text and all, but it's just it's like this warm bath for my voice I'm going to echo what everyone else has said so far too, just like the unexpected little turns and dissonances, and that really leaning into that beauty. It's just really yummy, and I love it.
Brianna, thank you so much. That's totally perfect. That's exactly it, right? So Brianna Hunter, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Next up, I sent around bios for everybody in the program that I emailed. So your program has been emailed to you, and you can read up on these fabulous musicians and what they've done. And now I want to bring in our tenor, who's very special tonight because he's going to be doing double duty. David, welcome.
Hi, everybody. My name is David Morgan Sanchez, and I am so happy to be here. I guess the reason I love Bach is it's a challenge. I never sing a lot of Bach or early music, so I really had to dig in, in this short time. Avi, we weren't going to do this for a while, and so I am excited that I get to do it. It's definitely a challenge, but I think I really enjoy, the dissonances that come out of nowhere and the way it resolves. Also, the whole text is pretty beautiful too. So,
David, that's beautiful. And can you share with everybody where you're calling in from?
I am calling in from Kansas City, Missouri. So I know it got kind of crazy there in New York City. That's obviously where I was. And the beginning of April, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna peace out and go home and live with mom for a minute until this.
That's awesome. That's great. We love mom.
Yeah.
David, thank you so much. Brianna, really quickly, I'm gonna unmute you. Brianna, where are you calling in from?
Sorry. Hi, I'm also with my adorable little parents in Pennsylvania.
Yes.
I was in DC. I live in New York, but I was in DC on a gig that got canceled. The COVID hit.
Right.
the great cancellation of 2020. And
of course.
instead of going, hey Enrico, and instead of going back to New York, I made a pit stop here in the near Philly. And
Brianna,
I've been here since then.
Thank you so much. That's wonderful. Thank you for calling in from Pennsylvania. Enrico, welcome, my friend. Enrico, where are you calling in from?
Hey everyone. Hey Michael, thanks for having me. I feel so underdressed and I apologize. I didn't have anything.
That's okay.
Rico is never.
I am in Torch Lake, Michigan. We have a place here, so sometime in March we drove here, and we've been here for 55 days now. So
yeah.
Enrico,
and why do you love Bach?
Oh my God, they all said great things, but what I love most is it's just the rhetoric, the rhetoric of Bach and the text, and just the imagination of it puts you, it's the closest to opera of from an oratorio that could be what Brianna did mention, and all that, you could play a lot with these. So, and I love it. I just love it.
I think there's no better explanation than that last thing. Absolutely. Enrico, thank you so much. Okay. Now, let me just explain to you what's going to happen. We're going to begin at the beginning, and then we're going to finish at the end. And what's going to happen is we're going to start with movement 1, and we're all going to sing movement 1 together on mute. Make sure you're on mute, but sing, okay? We've been practicing all semester, and I know that you are prepared. When we get into movement 2, I'd like us to hold the applause or the talk between movements, just so we simulate what the whole oratorio would feel like. Movement 2 will be sung by Sarah, movement 2 will be sung by Tammy Petty. No. Sarah Griffiths is singing at Exultavi. Qui Respexi will be sung by Tammy. They have pre-recorded accompaniments that I laid down. They're going to play them in their apartments, and then they're going to accompany. It's possible that given the tech limitations, you might not hear the accompaniment, but you'll hear them, and that's what's the most important part of tonight. Movement 4, Omnes Generationes, we're going to take under tempo, okay? That's just for all of our sake, for the betterment of all humankind right now. And then movement 5, Enrico will sing. Movement 6 is a duet, which Brianna and David have pre-recorded, and my student assistant, Roberto Burgos, God bless him, edited it, and I have it, and we're going to play that recording live because of the latency issues. So you'll hear them in this recording here, okay? Movement 7, we'll do Feci Potentiam, and then we do number 8 is Brianna Estudiantes. No. Number 8 is Deposuit, that'll be David. And then number 9 will be Estudiantes. Sushepit Israel. Ladies, you're all singing it. It's just evening section. I know we didn't look at it. Just read it, do your best. And then we finish the piece. And we'll hold applause to the end. And, we'll be patient with the tech issues as they crop up. I'm not cutting anything. I'm playing the postludes and preludes and all that. So everybody, if you so choose, stand up, sit up tall, take out your music, hold out your music up, okay? And ladies and gentlemen, here we are. This is the Bach Magnificat Hunter College Choir 2020 version on Zoom. Here we go. Make sure to, yeah, okay.
Et exultavit spiritus meus. Et exultavit spiritus meus. Et exultavit spiritus meus. Et exultavit
Tenor, alto, soprano, soprano. 1, 2, T, and. Soprano ones. Basses, 1. And soprano ones. Tenors. Soprano 2s. Altos. Basses. Altos. 2s. 1s. Tenors. Basses.
Via fecit mihi mania, via fecit mihi mania, qui potens est. Via fecit mihi mania, qui potens est, et sanctum nomen eius, et sanctum nomen, et sanctum nomen eius, sanctum nomen eius, sanctum nomen eius, et sanctum nomen eius. Quia fecit mihi mania, qui potens est, et sanctum nomen eius.
One second. Share computer, share screen. Where's group music? This one. Share. Okay. One, two, T, and
Deposit, deposit, potentes, de sede, et exaltavit humiles. Deposit, deposit, potentes, descende, et exaltavit humiles. Et exaltavit humiles.
Es volientes implevit bonis, es volientes implevit bonis, et divides divisit, et divides divisit in annes, et divides divisit in annes, divisit in annes. Es volientes implevit bonis, es volientes implevit bonis, implevit bonis, et divides dimisit, et divides dimisit, dimisit in annes, dimisit in annes, dimisit in annes.
soprano 1, alto, soprano 2. 1, 2, T, and. One, and. Sicut locutus est ad Patris noho. Sicut locutus est ad Patris you. Congratulations, everybody. Oh, man, that was a trip. Welcome, congratulations, everybody. I want
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you so much. Crazy. So, listen, I have to take a minute. And these are the bows. Take bows. And wherever you're at,
Really stressful.
we have Tammy and Sarah, wherever you are. Let's see. Can we have a hand for Tammy and Sarah, the amazing Tammy and Sarah, folks. Looking fabulous. We have a hand for Brianna Hunter. Brianna Hunter, amazing. Oh my God, you totally got that in it. That was awesome. You sang that like it was jazz. That was great. And can we give a hand for our amazing tenor, David Sanchez? Where's David? A hand for
David.
David, that was great. And can we have a hand for our amazing bass, Enrico Lagasca? Amazing, Enrico Lagasca. And it wouldn't be a concert if I didn't take a bow as well, ladies and gentlemen. Your orchestra director, I am Michael Sheetz. Welcome, thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody. And here's a hand for all of you, for us. This is a applause for us, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Hearing your spectacular singing across I could see us. Wow. Oh, wow. That was just so amazing. So beautiful. Okay, so, yeah, I know. Thank you, Sheetz. Thanks,
Spectacular.
Keep this just a little bit structured because there's another part of the program. So the chat box is now open. Okay, so if you want to type anything in the chat box is open. That was one of the most amazing things that I've ever been a part of, right from our own living rooms, folks. Okay, soloists, you exceeded my expectations. We heard you. I cannot believe the tech held up. I can't believe it. But what I hope that you get was just how powerful the music is. Like the gesture from the beginning all the way to the end. It takes you on this compact, amazing emotional journey that just gives me hope. Okay, it gives me hope. I could feel the power of the music accelerating as the movements go on, and I could see you on stage in my mind. I could hear you in the assembly hall, not just what it would have been today, but what it will be when we get over this. When we endure through this, we are going to sing this piece, and we're going to have these soloists back with us. And this is just the most special, beautiful thing I've ever been a part of. That was wow. I want to take a moment and acknowledge our amazing accompanist who helped you all learn this. Tyler Walker, ladies and gentlemen. A hand for Tyler. A hand for Tyler Walker, who took you through all of the sectionals, okay, and helped you with all of those notes and rhythms. What a great soul. Okay, so now what I'd like to do, okay, so that was great. That was just so great. We have another part of the program. I had planned, right now what I want to do is bring on our music director of the Hunter Symphony, if he's still here, David Fulmer, because we were supposed to have done this with the Hunter Symphony, and we will. But I wanted to just introduce you to him this semester because we haven't had a chance to see him. David, are you here? Can you unmute yourself?
Yes, I am, Professor Sheetz. How are you this evening?
Oh, we're
Folks,
great.
congratulations.
Thank you so much.
This was absolutely overwhelming. My ears, my brain, my fingertips are so active right now. I have my score right in front of me. I have some notes. Professor Sheetz, soloists, choir, this was absolutely stunning. An overwhelming performance. I was looking forward to this. I have been looking forward to this for many, many months. Professor Sheetz and I actually drafted this proposal almost 2 years ago, if you can believe. So tonight is one part of our realization. The Hunter Symphony has been working hard, practicing hard, rehearsing hard, and we are ready for you in the assembly hall. We can't wait to get back and share this music with everyone. This is just, and I've noticed so many of our members of the symphony that attended this evening. I'm so glad they were here to see this, to hear this magnificent music making. Professor Sheetz, thank you so much.
Thank
choir,
you.
I am absolutely over the moon about this. I just want you to know our scores, our parts are hot in the hand, and we are ready to start rehearsal with you as soon as it is safe. I wanted to speak just a moment. Professor Sheetz and I had a meeting, actually, it was almost a year ago next week now, and we put some things on paper and we had many conversations as we usually do. We threw back some emails and some texts, and we are unveiling a very special project tonight. And I'm not sure how to let the cat out of the bag, or who would like to let the cat out of the bag. Professor Sheetz, would you like to tell the choir what we will be working on for December 16th?
No, I think you should. I think you should.
Fantastic. I am honored and just elated that we will be collaborating not once, but twice in the fall. First for our Bach Magnificat, as we just heard your brilliant rendition. And secondly, we will be working on none other than Beethoven Symphony Number 9. I think perhaps my top two favorite pieces, Bach Magnificat, Beethoven 9. I mean, we are doing the big blockbuster hits together. And this will mark the first collaboration between the choir and the symphony in Hunter College history. So you all have made history tonight, and we will continue to make history throughout October, November, and December, and beyond. So Professor Sheetz, thank you so much. Soloists, thank you so much. Choir, thank you so much. My score is trembling right here. It has so much energy inside. And I was taking notes about certain things that I can relate to our orchestral members. This was a joy. Thank you so much for such a brilliant, splendid performance this evening.
Ladies and gentlemen, the man, the myth, the legend, David Fulmer, please. A hand for David, please. Okay. The one and
Thank
only.
you, Professor Sheetz. Bravo, 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 bravissimo. This was absolutely astonishing. And, you know, I was so touched by the words of our soloists at the beginning. And one thing sort of stuck in my mind, and it was, Bach is a challenge. I actually wrote that down here. And it's true. You know, Bach, these notes that we have in here are you know, there's about, what, maybe 40,000 notes in the Magnificat or abouts. This music asks us questions. And, you know, Professor Sheetz and I, when we were talking about how to bring the choir and the orchestra together and synthesize these two massive musical forces, we were thinking about music that is engaging on multiple levels. Of course, there is the technical component, there is the musical component, there is the sonic component, all of these different mechanisms working together, these ingredients really percolating together. And Bach is one of these composers that I think it's fair to say we all wake up thinking about Bach, and we all go to sleep thinking about Bach, thinking about phrase lines, thinking about the intricacies of harmonic motion. And in fact, when I was briefly looking through the score, I sort of sat it down here because I was just so enthralled by what you all were doing. It dawned on me that the incredible symmetrical structure of the Magnificat was so powerful tonight. I could actually see that as well as hear it. And that was the first time for me that got illuminated, thanks to all of you for your brilliant performance. So we are so excited. As soon as we get back on the fourth floor, we are going to hear notes from every corner, every facet of the practice rooms and beyond. And once we get back into Assembly Hall, as well as all of our other practice venues and performance venues, we will be on stage very soon. So I just want to say once again, Professor Sheetz, I am in awe of the strength, of the dedication, the commitment, and the artistry of all of you. This is just absolutely astonishing. And Thank you. Thank you for making my day. This was absolutely glorious.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Professor Fulmer. Thank you for joining us and being with us tonight. It means your participation and having Professor Farron here too, and other faculty that I know are calling in, it just means so much to us and the momentum of our work. You know, we have plans, we have a structure, we're going to do great things together, folks, which is my pitch now for asking you to re-enroll in the fall. But before I do that, I just want to thank one more time our soloists. I'd like to release our soloists. You're welcome to stay. I want to respect your time, but I just cannot thank you enough for the amazing work that you've done. If you have to go soloist, please do. David is going to stay for this next piece, but can we all just give one final round of applause to Tammy, Sarah, Enrico, and Brianna, okay? Thank you so much. So wonderful. Thank you. You know, yeah, and soloists, you can see what they're saying in the chat box. I feel like this is a telethon. We're on PBS, and you know, everybody's like phoning in their comments, which is like what we should be doing. So thank you for inspiring us tonight, soloists. Thank you for sharing your artistry. We all need it, and you certainly inspired me tonight. So what I would like to do now, first of all, is do our second piece on the program, which is this very emotional piece by Adolphus Hailstork. Can we all take out the music, choir? Take out the music now for How Long and Alleluia. And I want to bring in now our tenor soloist, David. We're going to unmute David now. David. So the plan for this now was that Tyler Walker had pre-recorded he has a real piano, and I have a keyboard here, but he pre-recorded the music, and because I want you to hear David's singing of this. Now, David has recorded this work before on the YouTube link that I gave you with a group in Kansas City. As I have spoken to you about, these texts are very, very powerful. They're from the Psalms. As you know, I think we should just do it. Please let us take this with this piece and this music and this musical gesture now, the grace that we all are looking for and want for ourselves. I will keep in mind members of your families who you have lost and friends and all of those who are suffering and on the front lines. I think this selection is particularly poignant in the middle of COVID-19. Movement 2 is called How Long? Literally, How Long? And movement 3 is called The Lord is My Shepherd, Alleluia. I will do some conducting to cue you in. Soloists, or rather singers, if you want to do some improvisation where it says improvising, but we've rehearsed this a lot, and I want you to just do everything that we've rehearsed. Before we begin, I'm going to unmute David Sanchez. Okay, great. David, could you say any words about this piece, your history with it, anything you'd like before we begin?
Yeah, oh, sure. So I, got to record this piece. I think it's now 4 years ago, and it was just kind of amazing to, not only do a work by an African American composer, but also perform something that I felt like I got to sing with my own voice. I didn't have to think about anything besides just singing what's on the page. And being able to tell the story. I think so often, I think there's, of course, privately, there are struggles that I face as a person of color, but I think publicly is something that we can all relate. This is a huge crisis that we're going through together. And the one thing that has really stood out to me in this text is just faith. We have to take it one day at a time, and just trust that things will get better, do our part. So for this movement of How Long, I think we all feel that in the music making that we don't get to do live, that we're having to do, via live stream. We don't really get the experience. For me, that feeds me, and I'm sure every single one of you that feeds your soul. So I hope that this can minister to all of us.
David, that's perfect. David, thank you. When we finish movement 2, just feel free to continue without stopping. You can press the file and we'll go right on to the Alleluia.
Okay.
And choir, sit up tall and be ready to sing. And now let us sing How Long and Alleluia. So take it away, David. Tyler Walker at the piano.
the sleep of death. Must I suffer? Give light to my eyes, oh Lord, answer me, my Jesus, give light, answer me. My shepherd, I shall not want. The Lord is my shepherd, I'm not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside still waters. He restoreth my soul. He restoreth my soul.
It is shut down.
Ladies and gentlemen,
All the theaters around the world.
Oh, my friend, you were. Ow. That was
times.
the other day, but my friend Amy said. Wow. Oh.
David, how come? Yeah. David, I have to keep everybody on mute right now, but that was, just look at the comments. Just write your applause in the comments box for David, because that was so beautiful. That was so powerful, David. Yours is a very special voice, and thank you for sharing your gifts with us tonight.
Thank you all. Okay, I'm not muted. Thank you all so much for making this possible. It was actually absolutely stunning to be able to face a choir and sing, to see all the expressions on all of your faces. Rufina, I saw you most actually because you were on the main page. So thank you for being just so expressive and letting it go, because that is the reason why we do what we do, right? We do what we do because we are able to communicate with an audience, but also to each other. I think we get something very special and rich, as you all know, out of singing with each other. So thank you for giving me this opportunity to, bring a work to life that it's so poignant right now. And I didn't realize how poignant it was gonna be until I opened my mouth. So thank
That's right.
you. And thank you.
David, another hand for David, please, everybody. Everybody give David a hand.
Thank you.
That was so beautiful. I would be remiss right now. So David, again, you're born to sing this. I think right now the moment is appropriate for me. And I feel very pleased. I would like to just acknowledge somebody very special who made this possible. And that person is my wife, who is sitting right here, Mrs. Sheetz, who literally was like, why don't you just ask David Sanchez to do it? And I did, and here we are. So you wouldn't hear David probably if it wasn't for her, in addition to just being the most wonderful support system, and she helped the tech thing go so you see, honey,
David,
this is
it's so nice to meet you.
You too. Thank you so much. He told me, he was like, my wife just said, just message him. And you know what? I was in Porgy and Bess at the Met. I was in New York, and I was like, this is so perfect. So thank you for making him take that leap of faith.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Choir, the lesson there is you never know what'll happen in life if you just ask. Sometimes, like if you just ask the right person, you don't have to, whether it's a soloist or a job opportunity or whatever, you just never know. Okay, if in the right context you ask yes, you ask. So David, once again, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I want to give a big round of applause to Tyler Walker, our assistant, Tyler Walker, folks, who played that gorgeous accompaniment.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Tyler, I don't know where you are, but can we unmute you for a second? Tyler, you're here. So Tyler, listen, everybody, Tyler is such a gift to us because not only is he a fluent musician, but at the keyboard and with singing, but Tyler brings spirit and soul to his work with us. And I think you all feel that. And he's been a rock for me as a colleague in this journey with all of you. So Tyler, I just want to say thank you for our entire collaboration this semester. Do you have any parting words for our students tonight?
I just wish we could have done it live, but this is so good as well. I was getting emotional. I hate listening to myself, but that's just like any musician, I guess. But it was so emotionally overwhelming just to see everyone and to see the comments. And it was so hard to play all of this without actually hearing the singer. I'm so used to accompanying. And so it's like, what would he do here when I have 3 measures of rest? So
you guessed brilliantly, and I knew you could do it. I knew you could totally do it, Tyler.
Fun, and I couldn't have done this without you. You've held this whole thing together, so
thanks.
It's amazing. So glad, ready to be back in person now.
Of course, Tyler. Thank you very much. Tonight I want to begin before we say our farewells for this semester. First, just for the time being, we will come back, of course. But every academic calendar has to end, regardless of whether or not there's a pandemic or not. But I know, thumbs down, Kimberly. I know exactly. Total thumbs down. But I want to begin a new tradition tonight for the Hunter College Choir. And normally I would do this before our performance, but I felt tonight it would be better to do it after. I want to begin a tradition of honoring our graduates from our choir who will be moving on to whatever their next things are in their musical journey. My dream, if we were together, I would go out and buy a bunch of carnations and have you wear the carnation for you seniors and graduate students, and you'd wear it as a badge that you'll keep the Hunter College Choir with you in your heart, hopefully for the rest of your lives. And to me, this is the power of choir, and this is the power of college choir. And while we're not together in person, we are most definitely there in spirit, folks. So I have to apologize. Normally I would prepare for this by talking to you in person, but we have a number of people I want to recognize tonight. I'm just going to read their names off. Some are not music majors, some are. And while I regret not having the chance to get to know all of you better in person, this has been one of the most extraordinary classes in my entire career that I've ever taught. I was feeling it before this pandemic happened. I felt it in our rehearsals. You are all very, very special people who I will never, ever forget. This also pains me because I can't believe I'm losing so many wonderful, wonderful singers. So this is a combination in no particular order from our day section and our evening section, but we have graduating with us tonight, according to my CUNY First roster that says you're all upper seniors, but if something's changed, then maybe we don't have to do it, but I'm just gonna read you anyway. So John Salonga, I will miss you very much. Martin Schneider, thank you for your spirit in the bass section. Sokna Diani, I haven't really gotten to know you very well, but you were great in the alto section. Emily Medrano, I don't know, I just don't know, Emily. You were a rock in my tenor section for the entire year, and you were in it to win it, Emily. Thank you so much. I don't even know if they're on the call or not, but I'm just gonna keep going. I have had Tong Tong Gu, she's an undergraduate music major for 2 years, I think. And you have been a wonderful, wonderful student to me in these classes. Inuri Lianji, you're a chemistry major, but you were wonderful in the choir, so I'll miss you and thank you for doing all your assignments. I want to thank Manya Gaver, who I think might be back next year, but she's a 42.
Yeah, I'm not even close to graduating.
Oh, you're not? Oh, okay.
I'm
all
getting
right, thanks, Manya. Thanks.
So
I
I'm
have that wrong. But also Joselina Gabriel, Melissa DeMeo, Maxwell, Max Diowo in my day section, Anna Weschenfelder, thank you for all those great chamber singers experiences. Marcus Burks, you held the fort down in the bass section. I knew I can count on you, Marcus. So thank you, Marcus. And I believe that's everybody, but they're just the last two people I just want to acknowledge and who were in particular, very dedicated in this class was our bass, Sebastian Bayard, who is going to be going to Chile. And I've had Sebastian since he was a high school student at the United Nations International School. And then we ran into each other when I started teaching at Hunter. And Sebastian is a very, very special person, and I'm going to miss you, Sebastian. And I want to thank Rufina Kamaletinova, who has been one of my most amazing. Can we just give Rufina, I think we all know Rufina's, particularly in the day section, her contribution to spirit, not only in spirit, but she literally reminded me to do things that particularly when I had no idea how to do a Google Drive form, she stepped in to help me to, teach me how to do Google Drive. So Rufina's got a job in Washington, D.C., and she will be moving there. But thank you for your generosity of spirit over the years, and to all of you. So we went for the gesture tonight. I know, folks. Now with that, we went for the gesture. That's what. Oh, and Princess. Oh, wait, I have another side to this. I'm so sorry. And from my evening section, I have another side here. I'm so sorry. Ugana Nandi in our tenor section, you were wonderful. Noah Silversmith, I will miss you, and Princess Ozma, she was our wonderful soloist and is doing this great charity work. So Princess, I'm going to miss you. We're going to miss you. We're going to miss all of you. I want to, Professor Farron just wrote here something very, very great, which is that please do join us for our online music graduation, which is going to happen May 26th at 11 o'clock. And it's Terrence McKnight is our guest soloist, okay? Speaker, not soloist, speaker. Thank you, honey. You know, the last thing Professor Farron, is there anything else you want to add? I see you're still with us, and do you want to unmute? Are you good? Do you have? She has to. She's timing it. Okay.
I just have to tell my children to be quiet.
Oh, of course.
But this was really, really just so necessary. And I can't thank you enough. I mean, I just really felt all of your musicianship and artistry, even through this experience. It was almost more moving just to see how you would engage with the music as it was going by. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Professor Farron. Another applause for our chair and for all the work she's doing to bringing music to us. It doesn't go unappreciated. It's very much appreciated by all of us. And of course, I would be remiss if I did not congratulate and thank my college assistant, Roberto, who has been amazing these all years for editing that solo together and for being the heart and blood of our choir. Roberto, you are awesome. Thank you, Roberto. Yay, Roberto. He's helped me out so much while I'm since I've been here. Yeah. So ladies and gentlemen, I believe that we come to our finale. I want to congratulate you all, and I want to thank you. I want to thank all of you. Maybe what we'll do is we will, Roberto has helped the music department in so many ways. I know. I took guidance from Roberto when I came on doing this. Like, Roberto gave me a good lesson or two about what's up, and that I'm so appreciate that. So every class. So these are my final thoughts, ladies and gentlemen. Every single class you have brought your gifts, and you have been an inspiration to me. While I encourage all of you throughout your lives to have music as a part of your mode of expression, please join a choir and support the arts later on in life, okay? Wherever you go. Music is there. It's this music that we study, not necessarily Western classical music, but all music, no matter the style, no matter who the composer is, no matter what nationality it's from. It is a language, and it crosses boundaries of limitations of it all, limitations of age, of race, of time, of it all. And it is a celebration of the human spirit, and singing is an affirmation of our lives. And I ask you all to take hold of that and to remember that, okay? Whatever you wind up doing in your life, whether you become a professional musician or whether or not you become a chemist, find your inner voice and sing with it. Take hold of your spirit, and your voice is needed because you are all very special individuals. And the process and the journey of discerning what and how your voice is meant to sing is a long and amazing one. It's an amazing journey, and it has to be, whenever you're feeling down, you have to remember that it is really all about the journey and not the destination, wherever it is. So remember that, and remember these memories, these happy memories we've shared this semester. I hope you will register and join us again in the fall if you can. Of course, we will be in touch, and of course, we will find other ways to socialize, and we'll work through this together. But you are all an inspiration to me, and this has been just an absolute privilege for me as your professor. It is an absolute joy to be your director in this journey. So in addition to everybody just sounding great, I got to tell you all, you look fabulous, okay? And that is like such a celebration. The appearance is just amazing. I love how you've done yourselves up. I mean, you are just, you are the top. To quote Cole Porter, one of my favorite composers, okay? You are the top, everybody. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's time to say goodnight, okay? If you have a toast, I didn't have a thing to toast myself with, but if you so choose, and if you're gonna toast somewhere, I have water, you know, you're in your homes, we're not together, but our toast to our continued growth, our grit, and the resilience of the Hunter College and our music department. I will cheers to that, folks, okay? And cheers to all of you, okay? Amen. And to a health and a speedy recovery of the vaccine of the coronavirus. And everybody, yeah, was that some? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, have a wonderful night, and thank you all very much. Cheers, everybody. Have a great summer, okay? See you in the fall. Bye-bye. Cheers. Cheers, everybody. Cheers, and thank you all very much. Bye-bye, everybody. Thank you. Thank you for joining us this evening. God bless. Thank you, everybody. And have a wonderful, wonderful summer. Thank you so much. Goodbye, everybody. You look great. This is my farewell. Sydney, goodbye. Sky, it's been great. Princess, you look good. Tori, thanks a lot. Susan, Marianne, you look great. Kathleen, thanks for joining us with your guest. And Amy, so fabulous. Linda, you look great. Thanks so much. Hang in there from our apartments. And have a great night, everybody, okay?